you're out there, you're riding, you're having a good time, and taking in the outdoors.
The fight isn't over. The fight is just beginning.
What's going on, guys? This is Carl with the RacerRed channel. So I wanted to talk a little bit about trail maintenance and motorcyclists, because we are the maintainers of trails. We do probably more of it than any other group. And I really appreciate those who carry chainsaws. I don't carry one yet, but I plan to. I've already got the Bill Dart chainsaw mount, so I'll be chainsawed up pretty soon. But I really appreciate those who are really involved in the motorcycle community and keeping the sport alive, and those who are involved in just keeping motorcycles legal, keeping trails open. It's really important because there's always been, pretty much, I mean, within the last 50 years or so, there's always been a push for government control zones or wilderness areas. And even when there's not wilderness areas, the so-called public land is shut off. So it's really important for people to stay involved in that whole process. Yeah, I like somebody's creative sticker they put on there. So when you're in super technical terrain like this, and you're riding around, you realize that there's no trash, and there's really no crazy behavior out here. People aren't leaving trash everywhere, doing meth, and just leaving everything out here, catching stuff on fire. The reason for that is once you get out away from the parking lots, it requires a specific kind of rider. It requires you to be a pretty good rider, and the good riders just don't do that. They just don't do all that stuff. A good example is like when you go out to the desert areas, to the parking lots, and that's where I recommend going just to learn how to ride. Most people will want to move out of those areas and into the nice single track like this in the summertime, but it's in those desert areas, especially in the parking lots, that you find a lot of the people who they're not enthusiasts. Most of them probably won't be riding for very long. They're just out there for maybe a day or two a year or something. And that's where you get a lot of trash and you get stuff caught on fire. And it's like Mad Max out there. Got guys shotgunning beers and spinning cookies and four-wheelers until they fly over, just tearing stuff up. And it's entertaining to go out there and watch. People watch sometimes, like on the weekend. But there's nothing wrong with those areas. But what I'm saying is, you get some of those people out here, and they would do the same thing way out here, but they are not capable of coming out here. This is some area that really requires mountain goat abilities. And to get mountain goat abilities, pretty much got to be an enthusiast who really appreciates the sport and loves coming out to single track. Setting up pretty good in here, actually. So yeah, today I'm riding out here and just exploring around. I haven't ridden this area at all, any of these trails, so it's pretty fun. I've ridden a couple mountain ranges over, but nothing right here. I'm doing a group ride. I'm not with a group though. I just kind of came out and I'm kind of doing my own thing. Just my brother and I. Got a friend coming out here later today. So we're keeping the group pretty small. Of course, if we knew when everybody else was leaving, we'd leave with the groups if they were cool with that. But it seems like everybody's just kind of riding, so that's what we're doing, just riding. This is the kind of stuff that my brother doesn't like, the side hill stuff. And really, who does like it? Bouncing around next to a ledge, it's a little bit nerve-wracking. But one thing about a dirt bike, it's fairly, like, it'll do the same thing pretty much on a small obstacle as it will a big obstacle. You just have to trust your bike. And I say just have to trust it. I mean, it's easier said than done. I still don't. I can't do a lot of stuff because I don't quote unquote trust the bike. So it's just a progression. I've slowly learned is that the bike is balanceable, even if it's bouncing sideways. It's all over the trail. It doesn't matter. You just open your legs up a little bit and let the bike move between, and the bike can be totally sideways, and you can still balance it. It's still rideable. It's definitely a good thing to know, I guess, if you're going to be riding this kind of stuff, bouncing around a lot. I think a lot of people try to stay too squeezed into the bike, and when you do that, you're kind of riding too stiff. The bike bounces around, it'll take you with it. So it's definitely good to kind of keep your legs open and stay loose and let everything pivot. And you're not going to be able to avoid every incident, though. I mean, it's just not going to happen. Most of my incidents happen when I'm really tired. But I haven't wrecked, fallen over, anything for... I usually don't. I haven't yet in this trip. This is day number 2. I haven't gone down yet. So, knock on wood, but not literally. I already did plenty of that in my race. And knocked on that wood real good. Smacked right into the tree with my hand. I don't want to do that today. So, I'll just not fall over. How about that? This is some prime trail. All right, guys, catch you on the next section. Peace.